As the sun is going down, we're gonna get started on another dump truck project. I took this dump bed off maybe a year and a half ago. It's been a long time. The plan was to do a lot of work to this dump truck. I was gonna rewire it. I was gonna put new exhaust and new headers and redo all the hydraulics and everything. Well, I still want to do that, but it's gonna be put on hold. Right now, I just wanna put the dump bed back on here. You might have seen my video. I just bought a tractor and I bought a grapple. I'm ready to clean my property up and start having some fun out here. So I need this dump truck. Before I can put the dump bed back on here, I'm gonna go ahead and replace a couple hydraulic hoses. I've got 3 hydraulic hoses that I want to replace. So here's one right here. This looks like the worst one. And then here's another one right here. This one's pretty bad. The third one's down here. Because the dump bed's not on here and it's not raised up, it shouldn't be under pressure. And also this system is probably pretty low on fluid. It leaks down here where the PTO shaft comes into the pump. It leaks, probably some other places too. And this thing hasn't been driven or moved in at least a year. It's just been sitting here leaking fluid out. Surprisingly, I actually have 2 1.25-inch wrenches. So that looks like the size to take these off. I don't know when these were last taken apart. All these joints are pretty rusted and corroded, so hopefully we're gonna be able to take them off. This hose here is the worst one and it's frayed inside there. I'd be pretty nervous to put a load in the dump bed and have that thing supporting it. Now look at this. How am I supposed to unhook this? I got no room to move my wrenches. And I can't start up here because it's actually loose. Look, it's just twisting the hose. I mean, it's coming out of there, but it's twisting the hose. So I need to get this taken apart first, I think. Well, we getting her done. There's some kind of weird union here. I know the lighting's not good, but you can see the fluid dripping. I put me a bucket down there. So I just had 2 wrenches on here and was able to loosen up this, and now I can do it by hand. I don't know if you can see. You can see the fresh silver there. So this hose is, I'm not turning the hose, but I'm turning this whatever weird union underneath here, and it's coming out of there. So trying to be careful. I don't think it's under pressure. I mean, this thing's down, so, you know, I about broke my finger the other day working on the clutch slave cylinder, so I'm a little nervous about working on. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, we should be able to take this one off now. And you can see this thing. I'm surprised how easy these are turning. All right, there's one. I'm gonna show you what I found on these hydraulic hoses when I took the first one off. All 3 of these hoses are the same. They've basically got one end like that, and the other end has this union, this weird kind of union on it. I don't know if these were ever swivel ends. And this end here, they don't move now, they don't twist or swivel, but they really don't need to, because on all 3 of these hoses, you start with the union end here, and once you twist this thing, pull the hose out of here, then you can take the other end out, and the whole hydraulic hose will spin. You know, if you try to start with this, you're just going to twist up your hose. It's not going to work. It's a pretty ugly wet day out here. I've got my poor man's shop set up right here. We're going to keep working on these hydraulics. Of course, I'm changing my plan again. It's been 2 days since I took that one hose off, that hydraulic hose. I am going to get 3 brand new hoses. And while I've got this apart, we're gonna go ahead and get this hydraulic pump fixed. Or get a seal kit. I don't know if I'm gonna seal it myself or drop it off with a hydraulic shop. Not sure. But the plan, I'm trying to pull it up into the gravel here so I don't have to lay in this wet grass. And yeah, I'm just spinning tires. This thing fired up really easy. I mean, it started so nice, beautiful. But I will never buy another truck that's not 4-wheel drive. I mean, I don't care if it's a dump truck, if it's a 3/4 ton or a dually, I will never get one that is not 4-wheel drive. You know, this is a very minimal incline, and this thing is useless. I already started this thing earlier. These my windshield wipers don't work. Gonna try it in low. We're just spinning tires. That's all we're doing, spinning tires. Back it up just a little bit. First gear. Oh yes, look at this. Oh, come on. So close. Let's back it up again. I mean, this is whoopsie. Oh no, is the battery gonna be dead? Nope, nope, nope. Oh, I should not have hit the brakes. Come on, baby. I was fighting this hill for probably 20 minutes before I turned the camera on. I'm shocked that this thing actually pulled up this hill as soon as I turned the camera on. Very happy. Now I can work out of the rain. I got a bunch of mud up here on my canopy now. Anyway, this canopy's great. Hey, if you don't have a shop to work in, you should get one. Pretty cheap. And it's great for protection from the sun and the rain. I'm working on this hose now on the top of the pump, and it is connected to the bottom of this big tank here. I don't know how full this tank is. It's been leaking for a year just sitting here. So anyway, when I take this hose off, I got my bucket down there, my 5-gallon bucket, because I'm sure whatever's in this tank is going to drain out that hose right into the bucket. I just used my 1.25-inch wrench, and there's the union on this one like I was talking about, so it was pretty easy. All right. Now I'm going to disconnect this rod here. It goes up to this control right here. So that's the one you move forward or backward, and it raises or lowers the dump bed. There you can see the rod here. It goes way down there to that handle. So there's a cotter pin. Yeah, this hydraulic fluid's still draining out. Gonna try to bend this cotter pin up here. There we go. So it's got a pin that you just pop out of here. This pin is starting to come out. I had to take a flathead screwdriver and stick it in here and smack on it with a hammer. Anyway, it's about to pop. It's about to pop out of here. You can probably see I got a zip tie on here. I'm not going to take this whole big rod off. So I got me a zip tie. So when I pull this pin out, this rod, you know, it's not going to fall down. Hopefully. Okay, there we go. Now I need to take off this shaft here. Now this is the one that runs down to the PTO. Well, that never happens. The very first Allen wrench I picked is the exact right size. So we got this thing loosened up. We have 2 bolts on this side and 2 bolts down here. I don't have a concrete driveway or a transmission jack, so this is what I'm working with here. Got my bucket, a couple of boards there, right up under the hydraulic pump. We got all 4 bolts out. Not bad, so let's see. Oh yeah. There we go. Is it gonna come up through here? Yes, sir. All right. 1 hydraulic pump. So I'm gonna try to clean this thing up. Maybe use some super clean and scrub it good and see if we can find a plate or something. I've got this hydraulic pump all cleaned up. I spent probably at least an hour the other day scrubbing this thing and scraping it off. I used some super clean, which worked really good. It's actually kind of rusting in a few spots now, I guess, since I got all the grease off of it. So I cannot find an ID plate on this thing. I was hoping to order a seal kit for it and just maybe fix it myself. You know, I think it's leaking here and maybe from around here. So I'm gonna have to take this thing to a hydraulic shop. You know, there's some numbers right here. I actually wonder, it looks like maybe there was some rivets here before. Like, I'm thinking there was some kind of ID plate here. But there's numbers here, there's some numbers up here. On the back side, there's like some numbers right here. I have looked and looked for days. I cannot find anything on this. I've posted it all over the place, you know, trying to get some people to help me identify it, and no responses. So we're gonna take this and my hydraulic hoses up to a hydraulic shop. I've got 3 brand new hydraulic hoses. These things were $193. Wow. I could have got these online. Probably could have got them for half that price, maybe even cheaper. But I like to shop local. I like to support local people when I can. Also, they made these in about 10 or 15 minutes while I was waiting. You know, you order them online, you have to, you got to wait on them to be delivered. I also didn't know what size these were. I thought they were 1 inch. They're actually 3/4. This looks huge for 3/4. So if I ordered them online, I might would have ordered the wrong size. And these are really good hoses, really good ends. So I'm sure these are probably a lot better quality than some cheap stuff I would have ordered online. We got some bad news here for the hydraulic pump. So for the hydraulic shop to look at this, he told me a minimum of $500. And then he can't guarantee that he's going to be able to fix anything because there's no ID plate. This thing is very old. He gave me a couple of recommendations. So I think what I'm going to do is take this off and maybe these 2 right here and see if there's like an O-ring or some kind of cup seal or a shaft seal. He said if I found some seals in here, then I could just bring those seals to him. He could probably match them up and give me something to replace them with. I took the plate off of here, just 3 bolts, and that's it. There's a bearing behind it. There's no kind of seal or anything on here. I know it's leaking fluid out of there. There's another one of these right here also. And there's just all this gunked up stuff. So there's some kind of bearing right there. I bet this is just a bunch of gunk too, where it's been leaking and dirt has just filled up in there somehow. We continue to tear this thing down. I think it's just had some creative engineering over the years. This came out of here. It was pressed flush up in there. I feel like that is a seal in there. It feels kind of soft and it's all dinged up and gouged up. I feel like that is where the seal is. But I can't get it out. So I'm starting to take these bolts off like I did not want to do. I may just try to pull this whole thing off of here. I don't know what's in here. I hope there's not a bunch of springs and stuff that if I pull this apart, it's just going to fly apart and I'm going to lose stuff. You know, also up here. So this is the same kind of thing, but it's not flush. You know, it sticks out, which it leaks, and that allows the goo to build up. And then this one, you know, they must, I don't know, this one had this little one. This looks like something they just cut a pipe or something and put it in there. So I don't know. Inside here, that doesn't really feel like a seal. Like it doesn't feel soft like this one. So don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of digging into this thing. Well, we are into this thing now. What a mess. So this is the long PTO shaft, and I have spilled hydraulic fluid everywhere. So right here, this is where the shaft came out. This was on the outside, that metal ring. Then there was this hard plastic, maybe it used to be rubber, hard plastic seal. Then there's this thing, which was already ripped. Somebody had already been into this. This one also, like you can see, it's all I didn't do that. All that gouges and stuff. So somebody had been messing with this before. So this is what I was looking at before, the ring. And then there's this plastic rubber seal. And then this. And then there's another one in here that I haven't taken out yet. It's just like this, but it's flipped around the other way. And then inside is this bearing. Now you can see the bearing. Now you can probably see in there that other black. Yeah, there's another black hard plastic seal in there. I'm not taking it out. At this point, I wish I would not have even messed with this. I just don't think there's a seal kit for this. It's too old. I'm gonna run up to the hydraulic shop again and we'll see if they got anything like some little pieces. Maybe I can do something. We are back from the hydraulic shop. Spent another $20. They did not have this little felt thing. And I did not want to order one. I don't want to wait around. So we got this thing here. I think he called this a V-stack. So on top here, I've got this, like the new seal. And then all these other little seals or rubber pieces, whatever, underneath. So I can use as many as I need. We're just gonna get rid of this. And I'll take the tie off of here, obviously, and I'm gonna stick them down in there. And then we'll put that on top. And I went ahead and put this piece back on here. I think I've done about all I can do for this old pump. We've got the new seals in here, and we got some up here. You know, it's not perfect, but at this point I've got $220 invested, plus probably another $20 in gas just to get down there and back a couple times. I actually just broke this screw off on this handle, so if I ever have to take this off, we'll be drilling that out. This old brittle cast iron. So I think we're ready to put this back on the truck. You know, this is just an old farm truck. Like, I want to stop it from leaking, but I don't want to put tons of time and money into this thing. I've got everything put back together now. So we got our brand new hydraulic hoses on here, looking really good. We got our pump put back on here. Hopefully it's going to be leak free. The one thing we have not put back on here is our PTO shaft, and I'm going to show you why. So right now it's laying on the ground. This PTO has been leaking ever since I got the truck 4 years ago. I've had a seal kit for this thing for probably a year and a half, and I'm finally going to put it in here. So this thing leaks, and it leaks all the transmission fluid out of the transmission, and I have to keep refilling it. So we're going to be working on this project next. Hopefully I'm going to start tomorrow or the day after. I'm not going to be able to fill up this hydraulic system and actually test it out until I put the dump bed back on here. The dump bed is sitting at my brother's house a few miles from here. That's where we took it off over a year ago, and it's just been sitting there ever since. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get with him in the next week or two, and we're going to put that dump bed back on here. I tried to operate this hydraulic system one time without the dump bed, and you can make the cylinder push out, but it will not go back in without the weight of that dump bed pushing it down. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.